Good morning, students. Today I'm starting with lesson 4, The Two Merchants. Now, beta, this story is about how Birbal, who was an advisor in the court of the Mughal Emperor Akbar, he made a man give back what he had borrowed from a friend. So, now I'm going to read the chapter and explain to you. So, listen to it carefully. Birbal was known for his keen intelligence, fair mindedness, and proximity to the emperor. Citizens seeking justice often came to Birbal, particularly when Akbar was away from the city. So, beta, fair mindedness means that he was very fair in his dealings. He was not worried that somebody is rich, poor, black, white. So, whatever he used to do was very fair. So, beta, he treated everyone equally, and proximity means beta closeness. So, he was very close with Emperor Akbar, and he was very intelligent and a very intelligent, witty person. In one particular instance, Birbal was trying to resolve a dispute between two merchants. But a resolve a dispute means that he was trying to solve a fight or an argument between two merchants. So you have no proof of what you are saying, Ramchand. Now, beta, the two people in this story is that one is Birbal and one is Ramchand and Jwala Prasad. So now Birbal is talking to Ramchand that you don't have any proof of what you are telling me. No, Hazur. Now, beta, Hazur is a Urdu word when you use it for a high person. Beta, who is more superior in power than you. No written receipt for the 1500 rupees that you say you lent to your friend Jwala Prasad, and no witness to the transaction. So he's asking Ramchand that don't you have a receipt? Beta, when we give something or we buy even from a shop, we get a bill. So beta, if we are doing some lending or buying of something, that we have a receipt where we sign. So he says you have given 1500 rupees and you don't have any receipt and you have no witness to the transaction that somebody was standing there and saying, yes, in front of my eyes, this person gave money to this person. No, Hazur. Jwala Prasad is a fellow merchant as well as a friend. He needed the money and promised to return it within 6 months. So I lent to him. I thought he would honor his word, but he refuses even to remember what happened. This Ramchand said that because he was my friend, he was a fellow merchant, so I just gave him because he needed the money and he said that within 6 months he would return it. But now he refuses. Write down all that you have told me and sign it. I will see what I can do. So Birbal said, now whatever you have told me, just write it and sign it and then let me see what I do for you. I must send for Jwala Prasad, the second merchant. Let me see what he has to say about the matter. Now Birbal was just thinking to himself and talking that let me call Jwala Prasad also and let me hear his side of story. Jwala Prasad arrives. Raja Sahab, I am deeply honored and grateful for this summons. How may I be of service to your lordship? So he said, how can I be at your service? Because he was really surprised that Birbal is calling him. Read this. Now he handed over that paper. He said, just go through it. All lies, your lordship, all lies. I thought Ramchand was my friend. I have helped him so many times and this is how he repays me. I know his shop is not doing well, but this is not the way. Now he is a crooked fellow, so he says, now just see, I thought he is a friend and I've helped him so many times. And now what he's up to, like what he's telling you, because his shop is not running so well, so he's making all this story. So you deny that Ramchand lent you 1500 rupees which you promised to return within 6 months. So he said, now you're just refusing. So that means he's not lent you 1500 rupees and you never promised that you will return within 6 months. I absolutely deny it, Your Honor. And surely he would have taken a receipt from me if he had lent me such a large sum. Why does he not produce that receipt? Now he was now contradicting. He said that if he had given me such a big amount, so he would have taken a receipt, and for such a large sum, it's not 1 rupees or 2 rupees, so he should produce the receipt. He says he did not take a receipt. That is the problem. Thank you for coming. I'm sorry for wasting your time. So Birbal said that he is very sorry that he took so much of his time And because the problem is because he has not taken any receipt from you. Raja Sahab, I am your humble servant. So he said, okay, still I am your humble servant. And he went away. Now, a few days later, you remember Ramchand and Jwala Prasad sent both the merchants a large jar of ghee, each with a request that they sell the ghee for me after checking its purity. Now, beta, jar, beta, like it's a made of earthen pots, large earthen pots, beta, where to store something. So he put some ghee into it and he said, go and give both to Ramchand and Jwala Prasad and just tell them to check its purity and sell for him. On heating the ghee, both Ramchand and Jwala Prasad discovered a gold moher at the bottom of the jar. Now, beta, when they heated the ghee, so that was a very solid ghee when they got, so they heated it to see how much pure it is. So they saw a gold moher down. Beta, gold moher is in olden time, beta, they were coins made of gold. So that was just at the bottom of the jar. I must return the moher to Birbal. It must have fallen into the ghee by mistake. Now, Ramchand said that I should give it back to Birbal. Maybe it has fallen by mistake. A gold moher? Let me give this to my son. Now this fellow, very greedy fellow. So he said, now let me give this to my son. Jwala Prasad's son helped him in their shop. The merchant goes to his son. Now he goes to his son and says, keep this safely till I ask for it. Now, don't spend it, but keep it safely. When the two merchants had sold the ghee that Birbal had sent them, they went back to give him the money from the sale. Ramchand went there first. Now, after selling the ghee, that whatever he had sent, so they said, now let's go and return whatever money we have got after selling the ghee, let's go and give it to Birbal. And Ramchand was the first to come and give. Jwala Prasad appeared later with a smaller amount of money. Now, compared to Ramchand, the amount was less. Is that the best price you could get for 1.5 mounds of ghee? Now, Birbal asked that I had sent you 1.5 mound, but a mound is an olden unit of weight. But now, like we say, grams, kilograms, liters, milliliters, that time but a mound was, it was little less than 1 kg. So he said, I send you 1.5 mound and this is what you are giving me. This is the amount you are giving me. Yes, Lordship, the jar only contained 1 mound. I weighed it before I heated the ghee. My son was with me. So he says, I have a proof that my son was there, and when I weighed it, it was 1 mound. Then my men may have made a mistake. Please wait while I find out. So he said, just wait. Maybe my men put less of ghee in that jar. So just let me find out. Birbal goes inside. Go to Jwala Prasad's house and fetch his son. Tell him that his father wants him to bring the gold moher that he found at the bottom of the jar of ghee. Now he immediately tells, go to his house, get his son and tell him that his father is asking for that gold moher, which he found at the bottom of the jar. After some time, have you brought the gold moher? So Birbal straightforward asks that, have you got that gold moher? Yes. Weren't there 2 mohurs in the jar of ghee? Birbal, just to make a base for the thing, he said that weren't there 2 mohurs? No, Your Honor, we just found just 1. So he said, no, there were not 2, there was 1. What nonsense! What would a gold moher be doing in a jar of ghee? Now he got panicky. He was little disturbed that now it's coming out the truth. So he said, what nonsense he's telling his son, that there was, what would a gold moher, what would be that moher lying in that jar would do? So then this son says, but don't you remember we found the moher in the jar when we heated the ghee? You took the moher out and gave it to me for safekeeping. Now, innocent child, he said, don't you remember that when we were heating the ghee that we found this moher and you gave me to keep it safely? Yes, I remember. I gave you a moher. But it didn't come out of any jar. One of my customers gave it to me. Now he twisted the story. He said, no, it didn't come out of the jar. It was one of my customers who came to buy something from me. That person gave me the moher. Your son is telling the truth, Jwala Prasad. I put the gold moher in the jar myself to see what you would do with it. Now Birbal said, I myself, your son is speaking the truth. So, but I kept this gold moher in the jar because I wanted to test you, what you would do. Jwala Prasad began to sweat with fear. Now he said, I am caught. So he was profusely sweating. My memory must be playing tricks on me, Your Honor. Please forgive me. So he says, maybe I'm lost with my brain, so that's why I'm not remembering. Jwala Prasad turned to his son. Give the gold moher to his lordship at once. How can we keep what doesn't belong to us? Now, turning it and saying, now you give it to back. And when do you propose to return the 1500 rupees you borrowed from your friend Ramchand? Now he said, ask that you had borrowed 1500 rupees from Ramchand. So when are you planning to give that? Haven't you returned the money yet? Now the son is asking that, Papa, haven't you given it back, the money you took? Be quiet. Now Jwala Prasad is telling to his son, just be quiet. Don't rebuke your son. He is an honest lad and he will make a better merchant than you. Now follow his example and tell me the truth. Now he said, don't rebuke. Now better rebuke means don't speak angrily with your son. He's an honest boy and he will make a better merchant than you. Because he's honest, so he'll be a better merchant. And he says, now follow the footsteps of your son. He's such an honest fellow. Now there is no way out, I must confess. Now Jwala Prasad said, now there is nothing I can do. So I should say yes, I should tell my truth. Speak out. Please forgive me, Your Honor, I lied to you. So now he said, yes, I have spoken lies. So now I have to straighten myself. You must give Ramchand double the amount that you had borrowed from him. Now he said, now this is your punishment. Now you have to give Ramchand double the amount. That means 3000 rupees now. Earlier only 1500 you had to pay. Now you have to give 3000. Jwala Prasad returned the money to Ramchand and asked for forgiveness. Now he went to Ramchand. He said, I am so sorry that I did all this, so please take the money back. Jwala Prasad also returned the money he owed Birbal for half a mound of ghee. So earlier he had paid less money for 1 mound. Now that for half mound, he gave the money which was lying with him. If such a dishonest man can still have an honest son, then God be praised. There is still hope for humanity. Now Birbal thought to himself that if such a dishonest man, such a corrupt person, such a shrewd person, if he can have such an honest son, then God has to be praised. And there is still hope for humanity. Still humans can live in this world because like his son, some people are there who are very truthful, who are very honest. Now, which I hope you have understood the story well. Now, but what is the moral of this story? The moral is that we should always be honest when we are dealing with others. We should not speak lies. We should not be dishonest, but always be honest with our dealings with others. So, beta, what is that proverb? Honesty is the best policy. And his young son, who was so young at age, he was so honest. So he changed his father's life, that you have to speak the truth because truth will win at last, not your lies. So beta, always, even when you are growing up, be honest, be truthful. You will, no day, it will pinch you when you are speaking the truth. And when you are lying, then one lie, second lie, third lie. So many times you have to speak a lie. Truth once and you get your result. So beta, I hope you have understood the story well and just go through the story. Thank you.